chilling in this bitch, and I'm bullying with your bitch, and I'm slapping on that shit. How to get rid of the lower fat, the lower belly fat, how to get the lower six-pack, how to build the bottom ab. That has been the bane of my existence. That is my arch nemesis, my #1 rival, my enemy in the gym since day one, since before I even started weightlifting. That is the Lex Luthor to my Man of Steel. That is the Joker to my Dark Knight. Okay, there are 4 things you're doing wrong that are stopping you from getting rid of that little kangaroo pouch, walking around all skinny fat, all bloated, tucking in your gut like a bitch, like squeezing your balls together, sucking in your gut through your t-shirt. Hey, dudes. Hey, what's up, girl I like, who I'm not going to talk to because I'm holding my breath, because I'm sucking in my gut. When it would be really dope if you just had a shredded six-pack like mother trucking Marshall Manunder. This is how you get rid of it. There are 4 things you are doing wrong. The first one is core versus abs. The second one is the floor, like gravity. The third one is bloating. And the fourth one is underdevelopment. The first one, core versus abs. At this point in time, I've made 2 videos on this. I will give a quick rundown on what it is. Core, isometric, which means a static hold, which is, for example, a plank or an L-sit. That does not train abs, that trains core. That will not get you a visible six-pack. If you're watching this video, that means training core has not worked for you. That means you need to train abs, which is so isotonic, which means active movements, which means you were like crunches, bicycles. Bicycles are my favorite ones. Bicycle crunches and V-ups, scissors, flutters. That is training abs for high reps. And eventually adding weight. You want to get to around 100 reps for each of them straight. And then eventually you want to add weight to that. Now, the second thing is the floor. If I knew this from day one, it would have been a game changer. If you are training abs, okay, so you got core out of the way. You're no longer training core. You're not holding a plank. You're not going to do 5-minute plank anymore. Now you're training abs. If you were doing it on the floor, for a lot of quintessential ab workouts, doing it on the floor is cheating. And you're not getting the full stretch. So, for example, let's say you're doing scissors. Everyone knows what scissors are. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's where you lay on the floor and, like, you kind of have your feet go like this. If you're doing that on the floor and you have your hands underneath your butt and you're making a little triangle like they taught you to do that shit in PE, and you're doing 4 sets of 25, you're not getting a six-pack. You're cheating. You're not getting a full stretch. If you're doing V-ups, which is like this, and you know, or ankle taps, whatever, I don't know, where you're touching the floor with your ankles, going up and down, like tapping it, you are cheating yourself. You're not getting a six-pack. What you're doing is just wasting energy. You need to get the full stretch, and the way you do that is you get a bench or a sit-up bar. That's what sit-up bars should be made for, not just sit-ups. They should be for getting the full stretch, and you lay on the edge of it, and you let your feet go below the bench and right above yourself, like you go up and down, and your hands go underneath the bench, or on top of your head, like grabbing onto a bar or whatever. You don't put them on the floor. That's how you're cheating yourself. You need a bench, like a bench press or a sit-up bar, or like get a chair, get a couch, get a table, figure it out. But that is how you train it correctly with the full stretch. The third thing, bloating. Bloating has been a subtle problem for me my whole life. I don't even understand why. For most people, it's just genetic. For most people, all they have to do is train core and they have a six-pack. But for me, I get bloated. And if you're having problem with the lower pooch belly, with the lower ab, you might more than likely have a bloating problem as well. You need a good amount of fiber, but you don't want to overdo it. If you overdo fiber, you will get double bloated. You need to stop eating stuff like white rice or white potatoes. You need to eat brown rice and sweet potatoes because those have a lot of natural fiber and they flow through you. And you need to eat a good amount of vegetables, but if you overdo it, you will get bloated. Like broccoli is really good, but if you eat it every day, it sits in your colon, it doesn't digest. You need good food that helps you digest. So the bottom line, eat brown rice, eat sweet potatoes, and try to get a probiotic. Look them up. You need like a green drink, a probiotic, and you need to be pooping regularly. And that is like a serious thing. And just be aware of the foods that make you bloated, because they, over time, if you're eating the same thing, it will just sit there and it'll stop you from getting abs. So like avoid processed food and like whey protein. You might need like vegan protein. And also, if you have a problem with acne, it'll help you a lot with acne, because a lot of the times acne is from your gut. That's another problem. We're not going to talk about that. Lower abs. And the fourth thing is underdevelopment, which means you just simply haven't trained it right, which circles back to training abs over core and not training it on the floor. And the underdevelopment also has to do with weight training. You need to weight train your abs just like any other muscle, but the thing is you need to hit it every day, and you need max reps. You can't, it's going to get to a point where you can't just do 4 sets of 25, where you need to do 1 to 2 sets of 100. And the thing is, by the time you get there, it'll be really easy, because it wasn't about the muscle you built. It was about the man you became in order to build that muscle. So if I knew all this day one in the gym, I would have had a 6-pack a long time ago. Remember, not about the muscle you built, but the man you become.